A trade deal in Europe can create opportunities for Indian businesses. How? Let's see. Another day of reading the newspaper, so you guys don't have to. And today's biggest lesson is this: our world is a lot more connected than we actually think. A conflict in the Middle East can affect fuel prices in India. A trade deal in Europe can create opportunities for Indian businesses. And a new airport in Noida can completely change economic activity in the entire region. Let's break it down. The biggest international story today is that the US and Iran has reached a preliminary agreement to end their conflict and reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Now this might sound like a distant foreign policy, but it matters because a huge amount of world's oil passes through that route. If tensions reduce, it could help stabilize global energy prices, which is a good news for countries like India that import large amounts of oil. Now, moving to the economy, India's exports hits a record of $45.2 billion in May. Engineering goods, electronics, chemicals, jewelries, exports all performed strongly. Now, that is a positive sign because it shows Indian products are finding buyers all across the world. But there is actually one catch. Imports grew even faster, which means India's trade deficit also widened. So the challenge isn't just selling more, it is balancing what we sell versus what we buy. Another important update comes from Europe. India and Slovakia signed multiple agreements covering defense, education, technology, labor mobility, and advanced manufacturing. Now, this shows how India is steadily building partnerships, actively diversifying across Europe and traditional big powers, creating new opportunities for trade and investment. Back home, Noida International Airport officially started commercial operations. Right now, it will handle a limited number of flights, but over time, this could become a major infrastructure and economic hub for Noida. And finally, Delhi completed the first phase of Census 2027 while also announcing a massive plantation drive of around 70 lakh saplings. Now, one story is about data, other story is about sustainability, but both are actually about planning for the future. If you look closely, every major story is connected. Global peace affects oil prices. Oil prices affects inflation. Inflation affects businesses and consumers. Trade affects economic growth. Infrastructure affects investment. And data helps government make better decisions. And that is why today's newspaper isn't really about individual business headlines. It is all about how connected modern economies have actually become. And for future managers, that is probably the most important lesson of all. See you tomorrow for another day of reading the newspaper so you guys don't have to.